now we'll move on to the next speaker, Dr. Ram Shankar ji. Dr. Ram Shankar ji has completed a PhD in management from Department of Management Studies, Pondicherry University, in the area of human resource management and organizational behavior. He also holds MBA degree with specialization in HRM from University of Mysore and MSc degree from University of Madras. He has been awarded Dr. S. Ramakrishnan Postdoctoral Fellowship for the year 2014-15 by UGC, and he has done his postdoctoral research from Pondicherry University. He has also done FDP in management from IIM Ahmedabad in the year 2018. He is a recipient of UGC Rajiv Gandhi National Fellowship for the year 2010-11 and qualified UGC NET in management. His area of teaching and research interest include human resource management, human resource development, organizational behavior, and business research methods. He has published research papers in the Australian Business Deans Council and Scopus ranked journals, and also presented papers in the national and international conferences. He chose the topic for today to specially focus on Uraon community and the Vanvasi traditions of Uraon community. Over to you, sir, Dr. Ram Shankar Uraon.
Esteemed panelists and dear participants, today I'm going to talk about the Vanvasi traditions and cultures of India, and my focus will be on Uraon community. And before starting my presentation, my talk, I would like to tell you about how this leftist and missionaries, how they are doing their propaganda, and how they are converting our people to different taking our people from belief system what we have presently. Many of the speakers have talked about various terminology used for Janjatis like Vanvasi or tribal, right? So this also give one unique identification to our community, right, Janjatis, and this is also strength for the community. And same time, this our opponents, right, leftist and missionaries, they use this identifications, right, to bring our people from their faith, right? They remove from the faith. Like once we say, right, we are a tribal, right, they try to project we are a non-Hindus, right? We are not a believer of Hinduism or follower of Hinduism, right? This is their propaganda or their narrative. We normally see, right? If somebody say they are tribal or Janjati or scheduled tribe, right, they say that why you are following Hindu culture, right? Why are you following Hinduism, right? Why are you praying to God? Why are you celebrating Hindu traditions, festivals? Right? These are the things not going on. And my experience also many times, right, people question me also, right? And why are you following this, right? And we have to, as a society, we have to be very careful about it, right? And mostly that educated people, mostly educated people are mostly brainwashed, right? As ma'am from JNU also talk about it, right? You can see like propaganda like Tukde Tukde gang, right? All these things started from JNU, and this is the breeding ground for brainwashing our community. Since I'm also working teaching in university here, but here also we can see, right, educated people are mostly brainwashed, right? And they are also leaving their culture, right, their traditions, their belief system, and somewhere the majority what people are talking, right, they are also trying to go with the majority, right? They are not able to stick with their own belief system, right? They don't have a confidence. Instead, they are following that crowd, and people are feeling shy or hesitate to say themselves they are a Sanatani Hindus or following a Sanatan Dharma, right? They may be following in the home, right, in their home and all, but outside they are projecting they are not a Hindu, right? This is these are the narratives are going on. And when we talk about Vanvasi traditions and cultures of India, uh, though I am from management, recently I have also interacted with people and also able to participate in some seminars related to this topic. So I could also understand and learn other Janjati culture, right? Like Janjati Santals are there, Gonds are there, right? Bhils are there. In couple of platforms, I could able to hear them and interact with them. Right? Everybody, we are in the same understanding and viewpoint that no, we have a common culture and traditions, that sanskar we call it, right? Different sanskar we call it, uh, like whether it's a Janm sanskar, Mrityu sanskar, right, or no Viva Sanskar, right? These are the customs or traditions what we have, right? These are no, it's like a common in every Janjati community. There will be some changes maybe, otherwise no differences. Otherwise, no, overall we say it's the same, right? So when we talk about Uraon community, right, this is also one of the largest tribal community of India, and no, and this spread around no Jharkhand, West Bengal, Odisha, Chhattisgarh. Right? These are the states you will find most of the Uraon communities, and the language what we speak, no, we call it a Kuruk language. The language is called Kuruk language, and this language very different from other language, right? You can't find any similarities with this Uraon language with other languages. Yes, there are some similarities, Uraon languages with South Indian languages, because I lived in South India, I studied from South India. No, I could understand Tamil, Telugu, or Malayalam and all, right? Little bit of exposure, so I could see some similarities of the languages also, even same meaning of the words, right? And the population is around 37 lakhs in India, and this Uraon community also migrated to different other countries also, right? Nepal also, we are there, and Bangladesh also. There's a number of populations are there, and Tibet also, Uraon communities are there, and I could hear in some of these conferences, right? During British period, this Uraon communities also migrated to Mauritius and other countries, when these people they taken this to work in different countries. So Uraon communities also migrated to other countries also, and everybody is talking about, right, especially this communist narrative, leftist narrative, right? They're talking about tribals are not Hindus, right? But no, they are not going going to they're not understanding the belief system, right? Somebody speaking, I'm not able to hear. Reddy sir is speaking. I could, okay, right? So no, they just since we are no tribal community or scheduled tribe community, right, they try to project we are not Hindus, but they are not understanding. When we go to the no base no base of this community, right? Their integral the cultural practices, right? Traditions. Then you will understand what is Uraon community. So my idea is to tell you how the Uraon communities, their culture, their traditions, and all, right. So in our Uraon community, one of the integral practices is Gothra system, right? Gothra system is there in Hindu, our Sanatan Dharma and Hindu Dharma. Gotra, every even from every Indians or Hindus, they follow throughout our India, right? Whether they are the different languages and all. The Gotra system. So we also have Gotra system in our Uraon community. So we have a Gotra, but given different names, name of animals, right? The names of animals are given to different Gotras to identify people with a different Gotra. And the purpose of Gotra is also similar as other culture and other languages, other Indian community, right? So idea is Gotra is to identify a different sect or group, and this and also we follow when the marriage happens, right? We use this Gotra to identify, and we don't marry in same Gotra, right? And this Gotra is identified with some names, maybe some natural, like we'll talk about, right? Nature, some plants name, or also with animals name will be there. So when we talk about Janma Sanskar, right? Once the child born in Uraon family, right, in traditions. So not only Uraon, in all this tribal community, right, Santal, Gonds, Bhils, and almost we have a similar kind of practices system, right? So one is, right, Mundan, we say, right, Mundan. No, tonsure we do, right? Tonsure, removing hair is there in Sanatan Dharma. So this is also practiced in Uraon community, and when child born, then maybe days may be different in different communities. We normally follow 1 week, 9 days after that there is a tonsure, this thing, that removing of hair. So this is very prominent practice in Uraon community, right? And also during this Mundan ceremony, what we do is we try to see this child's link with ancestors, right, in family members or ancestors, whom he belongs, right? So that also some practices is there to see, right? So what we do is that we use a plate, or and put a water and put a rice and and some grass on it, and see that rice in different names, the child name and other maybe one by one we'll put it, my grandfather, grandmother, grandparents or uncle. Slowly we'll see that where that rice go and touch with that. So we'll say that he belongs to that. So that is the practices we have. Try to connect, to see the connect with our ancestors, or or his or her relative, and this goes throughout the day till this match happens. So this is one of the practices we have, like. And also, like when a child born, after that 6 months we don't feed any, only mother used to feed a milk, right? No food and all, like any Hindu culture, I think. First, we, after 6 months, that we have the tradition of feeding of rice or food to the children. So this is a practice also is there in our community. And also practice is there, right? Piercing of ear, right? Like Sanatan Dharma we see, right? Ear piercing is very common in our Sanatan Dharma. So in Uraon community also, this practice is also followed, but slowly, many of these practices are eroding. People are slowly forgetting, or people are maybe because of modernizations, and moving to cities and all, right? They are going away from the these traditions and all. And after this birth, next sanskar, we call it a Viva Sanskar, right? In Viva also, in marriage ceremony also, we also have practices like any Sanatan Dharma. People follow from Sanatan Dharma, like the marriage is fixed based on the moon, following the moon, right? When the moon is rising, then only the marriages will happen. When the moon, the phases of decreasing, we don't have a marriages. So this is one of the practices. And normally this month of Feb and March marriages conducted. This is the month. And also in month of April, this is the time. And if you see that marriage, this custom of marriages, right? And no, same like any other Hindu marriages, right? We also go like Bharat system is there, right? Like North India and all very common. We also go to bride's home. Marriages will happen in bride's home only, and this groom's family and the relatives will go to bride's place, and the marriages will happen there. And there also in marriage, so we have a tradition, custom of conducting marriage in early morning, right? In the dawn, we used to conduct the marriage. And since no people are forgetting our culture and traditions, slowly they are also breaking these traditions, and arrange marriage based on their convenience, right? Nowadays, like traveling to different places, some and other safety issues and all, right? They don't want to travel in night, and early morning marriages sometimes risky traveling and all. So that's why they are changing the timing and all. But traditionally, Uraon marriages are happening in early morning, like, and I, as already I said, right, same Gotra marriage won't happen. Like any Sanatan Dharma, same Gotra marriage won't happen. In Gotra also, there are so many other subsects, sub-Gotras are there. That also they will see, but there should not be a similar Gotra. And moving forward, right, and again in Uraon community, these marriages won't happen between blood relations. One thing, Gotra also will see the blood relations. They will see, right, whether is there any blood relation between bride and groom. So that also they will verify before the marriages when the talks happen. And most important thing is, in Uraon marriages or any Janjati marriages, right, whether it's a Santal, Gond and Beans. So we have a culture of mandapa, right? Any Sanatan Dharma marriages, right? We have a mandapa. No, we make marriages will happen in mandapas, mandap. So we also have a mandap, and we call it madwa, right? We, in our language, we call it madwa. And Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, you will find this traditions there. Even non these people from Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, whether it's a tribal or non-tribals, everybody have this culture of madwa, right? Like mandap will make. And this mandap also in Uraon community culture. So we will have a what we have, like we will have trees, right? Trees we will put in all the corners of the mandapas, and we will have a 9 trees, branches of trees, 9 branches of trees we will plant it in all the corner. And I think that resembles the 9 planets, right? So that is maybe our knowledge system, right, in what we follow in Hinduism of 9 planets. So that is the 9 madwa will be there, means 9 madwa means 9 planets, represents 9 planets. And a center of this what we call it madwa, also we will have some specific plants we will have, like bamboo and tendu and siddha. These are some plants and trees, that branches will put it, and idea is to do a puja there, and tying with sacred threads, and the puja will happen. Normally, like same system like in Hinduism, we have a priest is there, right? Pandit and priest. We also have this, we call it in our way, we also have a pahan is there, right? So they will do a puja and all, right? And another main practices in Uraon community is applying haldi, right? We consider it auspicious, right? Applying haldi in any Hindu marriages, that is, without haldi ceremony won't happen marriages, right? Applying haldi to bride and also a bridegroom. So this practice also there in Uraon community. And another thing is, right, the marriages of any Hindus in India without sindoor, right? Without sindoor, the marriages won't complete, right? We may have a different practices, like if you go to Bengal, right, the marriages will be though their Sanatan Dharma, marriages will be different. Andhra Pradesh, there will be different. Tamil Nadu, Kerala, there will be some different. But applying sindoor is very common in Hinduism. So in Uraon community also, sindoor will be applied to a bride by the groom. This is one of the prominent practices, right? And I also came to know that when I was presenting this idea in another platform, right? So this Bhumi Pujan during the marriage is also very common in Hinduism. So we also have like Dhela Puja. Dhela means we call it a piece of stone or soil, right? But we call it a dhela, right? So that also puja happen, right? So somebody from North India told me that they also have a Bhumi Pujan, right? Bhumi Pujan will happen during the marriages. So in Uraon community, the Dhela Puja will happen. The groom, they take the groom to the field, right? And they will do a puja. And that puja, they will also do puja to Kul Devata, right? We have a practice of praying the Kul Devata or East Devata, we call it. Ancestors, we pray our ancestors, or Devata, or Kul Devata, or also a village Devata, village deity, right? We call it Kul Devata or deity. So this practice is there in all the tribal community, and specifically Uraon community is following very strictly this one. And moving forward, right? And another important aspect of this marriage is, right, when the marriages happen and the bride and groom, they face toward the east side, right? During the marriage, they will face toward the east side and they will apply the sindoor. So this is the practice. And moving forward, right, when we see that Mrityu Sanskar, right, those who are converted people, right, they don't follow this sanskar and all, right? Mostly this Uraon community people, they have converted to Christianity, right? So they follow completely Christian no, their practices of whether it's a Janm Sanskar, Mrityu Sanskar, everything. But Uraon community, they follow, no, when the person died, right? Any person died, right? So, no, they giving the bath to the body, right? Any Hinduism, I think any Hindu community is doing, right? They do a puja of the body, right? And also, give, they feed the food to the person, right? Everybody from the family, then relatives, villages, right? Before that, they will know, after puja, they will feed a food to that person, right? Again, that the puja will happen, like any Hindu puja, the puja will happen. Then the Uraon community, we have a practice of this Antim Sanskar, we call it, right? So we burn the body, and also we buried the body. These two practices are there. For that also lots of views are there. Maybe after this invasion of this Mughals, right? People started burying, buried the body. This also some stories are there. But no, in our community, both we burn the body and we also buried the body. And like when we buried the body also, right? Since I am from Andaman and Nicobar Island, right? We live in common culture, people with different religion and all. Right? Same Uraon people are also Christians and also Hindus, right? We stay together, we live together, right? When we see that their culture, how they are doing. But normally when we buried the body also, right? We same like we are doing like a Hindus, right? We don't put into boxes and all, right? We don't put in the boxes and all, right? And do it. But the Christians, those who are converted, right, that they put in the boxes, they completely sealed it and they will do it. But Hindus, though we are buried the body, but we believe that that should touch, mix with the soil, and mix with the soil. That's the idea. And right, and also when I don't know other communities and all, but when we buried the body, we put their head towards north direction. This is the practice we follow. And like any other Hindu community, we like Shraddh we conduct, right? Shraddh we conduct. Like we also call it a Gami. We call it a Gami or Terai. So after 13 days, 10 days, and we also conduct Shraddh, giving food, for his name or her name, right? This is the practice we follow. And also, right, we only again another very unique kind of practices is there, and also that you can find in different other tribal communities are, right, after the death, right? So what we do is that we connect this the person who died with our ancestors, right? Those who are ancestors, those who died earlier, right? So we have a connect, we never leave them, right? Our all this puja and all, right, whatever puja we are doing in our community, right, whatever festivals we are celebrating, each time we pray for them, our ancestors. So every time somebody has died, so we try to we connect with them and bring in the same that kind of family, right? So that we call it chai bhitrana, means bringing inside, right, their atma, we can call it, their spirit, we can call it, right, bringing inside to the home, right? One person died, right? So we have to bring that. For that we have a tradition, some puja and all, right? Make small huts, right, and make candle, diya and all. We do a puja, and we invite them, the person who died, to come to the home, and that is one culture is there, and that you can find in every tribal tradition. This is one thing. And also we believe in rebirth also, not like we are not believing in the rebirth, right? That's also we have a practice, believing that person also take a rebirth after the death, right? So another, coming to the festivals, right? If you see the festivals of Uraon community and also other tribal communities, right, there are very similar practice festivals are there, but names are different, right? Like uh, like if you talk about Deepavali, right? Deepavali also very main festival of Uraon community, right? But we call it a Sohrai, right? We call it a Sohrai. But other part of the India we call it a Deepavali, Diwali, right? We call it a Sohrai. And same way we celebrate on the same day when the Deepavali was celebrated, and we lamping the light, right? Lightening the lamp, lightening the lamp is diya we call it, right? This is what the practices is there, right? We that, and also we believe that we also celebrate this Sohrai to honor, to welcome Sri Ramachandra when came back after this Vanavas, right? That's also linked with that. And during this Sohrai and Deepavali, right, we also give importance to our cattle, right, especially the cow. Cattle's cow, and we apply oils to cow, right, and next day we also do a puja to them, right. We say Lakshmi Puja or Gau Puja is very prominent. We do puja and we go through across the village everywhere, right, and feed all the cows. Everybody will feed all the cows. So this Lakshmi Puja is, and Gau Puja is also very important tradition of Uraon community. That's why we also pray, and but what missionaries and communists try to say, and those who are converted, they try, though they consume this, this beef and all, right, there, and try to justify that. But Uraon community, we give lots of importance to Gau Mata, and and also Dashera, what we celebrate throughout the India, Dashera, right? We also celebrate a Dashera, right? And during the Dashera, we have one festival called Karma. Right? Karma, one festival is there that celebrated twice. So we celebrated in Karma, right? Vijay Dashami, what we celebrate, right? Like we celebrate Dasai Karma, and Karma festivals also having its own traditions and all practices and all belief system is there, right? So Karma, what we do is that we one particular tree is there, Karma. So we take that branch, right, and that is also with all this tradition, this practice, what called following the procedures is there, right? Puja, we have to do puja and all these things, and with respect we have to bring the branch, and we have to stop what we do it, right, to one place and do puja and all. So that's very, very, very religiously we have to do it. But what converted people are doing nowadays, because they also try to show that they are following this Janjati culture or traditions, right? They also try to replicate all these practices, but they're not in true sense they are doing, right? It's like they are making fun of it, right? There is every puja part what we have in Hinduism and Sanatan Dharma, that is there is a process, right, following doing that. But what they do is that simply somebody will go and cut the trees and bring it and put in the church or somewhere, and they will do it. But for us to doing that, there should be a particular person doing pujas, fasting, after fasting, right, doing all this. After that only, with permission, they have to cut and bring it, right? And that is a Dasai Karma or Dashara we celebrate in the name of Dasai Karma. And this, what happens in this Karma Puja is that mostly these girls, right, unmarried girls, they do a fasting, right? They do the fasting, and lots of other practices are there to be followed there. And they pray. Whom they pray? They pray Shiv and Parvati, right? They pray Shiv and Parvati. That's the practice we have, right? Moving forward, right, like Holi, what we celebrate Holi, and we call it Faggu. I think some places in North India we also call it a Fagun, right? Faggu is a holy festival. Same way we also celebrate, right? Burning Holi Dahan, we call it one day before, and next day playing with colors. This is also a practice in Uraon community. And again, like New Year, right? Every Hindu communities in India, we celebrate Hindu New Year, right? Same time like Tamil New Year is we have Andhra Pradesh New Year, Telugu New Year, Odisha New Year, Odia New Year, right? So also we also have a Sarul Puja. That what New Year we call it Sarul Puja, right? When we celebrate in the month of April, right? When this new flowers and leaves comes, right? That time only we, like other New Year celebration, we also do it. We call it a Sarul Puja, right? In the month of April we celebrate. And what we do, we go to Sarna, right? I will explain what is Sarna in detail later, right? Because of the Sarna and all, lots of controversies and all going on. Lots of narratives are going to set. But in Sarna, the place of worship we have, we have natural place of worship where we have trees, right? We have trees, a particular type of trees which you find in Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand, right? There only the puja will happen, Sarna Puja will happen, and that is, we call it a Sarul Puja, right? Nowadays, those who are converted also, they try to celebrate it as a Sarul, but I don't know whether how much they will do a puja and all, because their religion belief they may not allow and accept it to do a puja in some other places and deities, right? This is one thing. Then also, in every tribal community, right, when we cultivate our farm growing, right? Cultivate. After that, we have a puja, right? So we also call it, tuzgo, right? Some people say, some places we call it a naya khani, right? After growing our this crops, right? We don't consume it without doing puja or giving to our deities, right? This is also very prominent in Uraon community, right? After this cultivations, first we will do a puja, right? There is a puja celebrations, right? Then we will start consuming those this crops, right? So coming to the religious practices, like other part of India, so we also have a religious practices in Uraon community. So like we call God or Bhagwan or Ishwar, right? So we call Dharmesh. No, God we called a Dharmesh, right? There is a different interpretation of that, right? So we call those who follow a dharma, right? No dharma ko dharan karne wala. So that's, I think, the concept. Dharmesh we call it. Bhagwan we call it a Dharmesh in Uraon. And that also, Dharmesh also we refer to Lord Shiva, right? In Uraon community, we believe, we follow Lord Shiva. We pray to Lord Shiva. I'll also give some of the examples, right? And in Uraon community, like no, we used to keep we call it choti, right? What Brahmins are keeping, right? Choti, what we call it, and Janev. No, we are wearing Janev. So Uraon community also, we also having these practices of keeping a choti. Choti normally, everybody normally in nowadays new generations, they are not keeping. But if you go to villages, Chhattisgarh, remote areas, every Hindus, every Uraon community people will keep a choti, right? That's a sign of our no belief system or Hinduism, right? We follow Hinduism. And Janev also we are following the same way. We are also following Janev and following the traditions. No, not taking, those who are wearing Janev, they will be not wearing taking non-vegetarian food, or no, not taking alcohol and all. No, following complete strict rules and regulations. No, follow all this puja part. No eating habits and all. This is there. So also we also call it, somewhere you might have heard about Bhagat, right? Uraon community, they write their name, like I wrote my name as a Ram Shankar Uraon, right? Some people, they write their name as a Bhagat also, right? And mostly in Uraon community, we write no name of Lord Rama with our name, right? At the end of the name, we will also have Rama, right? Like Suresh Ram, right? Jagdev Ram Uraon ji, हमारे जो कल्याण आश्रम के संगठन मंत्री, right? Like Juvel Uraon, right? His name is like Uraon, but mostly the people will have a Ram also with the name. And instead of, and nowadays what people do, that Gotra, what we have, right? Different, like Lakda is there, right? Tigga, Kujur, right? These are the names you will heard sometime, surnames. But these are our Gotra system, Gotra. So normally those who are following Sanatan Dharma, or those who are really their Janjatis, right? We don't write in our names. But nowadays, no, Christians, they started writing, and now slowly Hindus are also started writing that. But that is our Gotra, which we should not supposed to write it, right? But those who are writing a Bhagat in their name, many places you might have heard the name of the Bhagat, right? They are like pujaris of our community, right? Those always involved in puja part, right? So we call them a Bhagat, Bhakt, we call Bhakt. I think from that might we got this Bhagat, but we call it a Bhagat. So they will be practicing religious practices and all. Okay, these are the these religious practices we have. And coming to the Sarna, everywhere nowadays, discussions you will hear about Sarna. They try to say Sarna is a dharma. Sarna religion. Try to bring this Hindu community from Hinduism and say they are a Sarna dharma. Separate religion they want, separate code and religion they want. They are demanding, right? But what is Sarna? Right, Sarna, like, if my family is, everybody all my grandparents and all, they tell about this is just a place of worship, right? The place of worship where we have trees, we protect, like sacred groves are there, right? In India, you can find sacred groves everywhere, right? Sacred forest, you can say sacred groves, we can say, right? Every even throughout the India, you will find that. So that same concept, we also have a Sarna, right? In Sarna, one of the oldest Sarna is there in Chhattisgarh, Gwalin Sarna, and and almost every Sarna we will have a sibling, right? Every Sarna we have a sibling, so we also praise Shiv and Parvati there. And but what this leftists, they try to say that no, they try to project it, no, this communists, they try to project as a religion, right, to bring out people from Hinduism and no, and try to give a new religion and slowly convert them to Christianity. So that is a narrative they are setting, like a Sarna is a religion, no, separate religion. But in Sarna, they don't know that we pray Lord Shiva and Parvati, right? And and also, as I said, right, this in Sarna, the like pujari in any temples and all, right, this puja will be done by baiga. We call it a baiga or a pahan, right? They will do the puja, and baiga and pahan, it's not only belongs to any, it can be anybody, can be baiga and pahan, right, in the village. Because in the Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, the village is not only with one community, right? There is a various community, different tribals, we are living together, right? And that pahan can be from any of this community, and they will do the puja. So this is about how the Uraon community and Uraon culture and traditions, and how it is very close to a Sanatan Dharma, and every practices and what culture what we follow, right, that reflects Sanatan Dharma. And but those who are trying to destroy our culture, right, our religion, our country, right, they try to use this some of this uniqueness and try to project it that they are different, they are not a Hindu, right? So that's all from my side.
Thank you very much, Ram Shankar ji. Actually, you made my day. I'm so ecstatic to hear you. So, actually, this was the kind of talk we were waiting to hear. Wow. Wow is the only word
Thank
I
you.
can say.
Thank you.
Such a rich ethnography. It was a very detailed ethnography from your own community. And because you have the insider's understanding of your culture, and you also have the way to articulate it, you know how to connect it to the Hindu, general Hindu practice. You made exactly what the symposium was looking for. Personally, from my side, among other things, I am a linguist and I study Dravidian linguistics particularly, and within Dravidian linguistics, Kuruk language is classified under the northern Dravidian subfamily within the Dravidian family, and it is classified along with Brahmi and Malto, the other two languages of the northern subfamily of the Dravidian family. Malto is spoken by Malavan community. Malavan people and Uraon people live together in closer hilly areas. This Malavan community people who speak Malto and the Uraon people who speak Kuruk are considered to be close relatives. They are considered to be cognate people. And the Brahmi speaking people who are currently in an area which is now Pakistan, originally northern part of India, northwestern part of India. These three together, Brahmi, Kuruk and Malto, are classified under the northern subfamily of the Dravidian family. That is the reason why probably you were able to see so many similarities of Kuruk with Tamil, Telugu, and other Dravidian families. But the amount of rich sharing of Hindu culture that you were reporting from your ethnography, your observations, wow, really amazing. I think all the audience are sharing this experience in the same way as I am. They are all ecstatic about this. And there are some questions probably are addressed to the earlier speaker, Shivaram Krishna Garu. Swapna Sundari ji was asking whether documentation of land records was there during the British time or earlier to British time or not. Swapna Sundari ji, This problem of land record maintenance is not limited to the forest dwelling people. Let me tell you, during a revenue official called Sir Thomas Munro, who was in the Madras composite states, a revenue official, he made a law that whosoever land records were not available, documented land records were not available, would be taken into the British government's land. That way, they acquired lakhs of acres of land in the southern part of Andhra Pradesh. That happened not to the tribals, that happened not to the forest dwelling people, that happened to the regular other city dwelling, village dwelling landlords. They lost their lands. This was because what Shivaram Krishna Garu was calling literate and non-literate culture, it was prevalent even among the villagers and city dwelling people among Indians in the pre-modern times. Land record documentation started with the Mohammedan rule, but even that was not widely prevalent. Land records were not available. So it is not a specific forest dwelling people problem. It was an entire non-European society problem all over the world. All over the world, forest dwelling people did not have land records. And Indians were also not having land records. So that was taken advantage of by the European administration. But unfortunately, what Shivaram Krishnaji was pointing out is that post-independent Indian government also followed the same ridiculous, meaningless, absurd policy of demanding for land records from a non-literate society. Okay, and there is another interesting response, Ram Shankar ji. It is in response to you, and I think I would answer her. Aditya Singh ji is saying, I am from Chitrakoot, Uttar Pradesh. The things you told about Uraon tribe, all practices and related terminologies are same with my community also. May I assume that my ancestors might have belonged to Uraon tribe or any other tribal culture. Aditya Singh ji, as a cultural anthropology person, let me tell you that this feeling, whenever it occurs among people, when they see a culture having shared culture, you get this feeling that probably I belong to this culture, probably I migrated from there, or they are migrants from me. This is in cultural anthropology. What they do is when they do comparative study, and when they see similarities across cultures, they propose two interpretation models. One is model of diffusion, the other is unity of mind model. So this diffusion is one very immediate thing that comes to your mind. For example, when you see a Cinderella tale or a stepmother child tale somewhere in South America, you might think that that South American story, either it traveled to your area or your story traveled to South America. But actually, it is because of a shared culture all over the world. These indigenous cultures, forest dwelling cultures, have shared similarities, not just limited to India. Across the globe, they have many similarities. But within India, what happened is the similarities with the Vedic culture, similarities with the other Hindu cultures, made them adopt those words. For example, Gotra for clan, in general English terminology of cultural anthropology researchers or students, they use the word clan. But why Uraon people adopted the word Gotra is that exactly clan and Gotra are one and the same. The animals and trees that Ram Shankarji was mentioning, cultural anthropologists call them totems.
And
But
sir, I want to add it here, and we call it a Gotra also.
yeah, that is
Uraon
what
also
what
Gotra.
I'm
You know,
saying
in
is
pronunciation it's a Gotar, but same word is also there.
exactly. So that was interesting for me. Actually, I did not know this. when I teach anthropology to students, I used to tell them that clan is very similar to Gotra. But when I hear from you that it is called Gotra itself in a particular community, that's accurate, that is exact, and there is nothing wrong in using that word because they belong to the same category of social systems. So, clan and Gotra are one and the same. To use Gotra for clan is also perfect, and all the sanskars and festivals and all those details that you were mentioning, amazing. Thank you very much, Ram Shankar ji, for that amazing amount of ethnography and information from Uraon community. More output is required from your side. Please share this information in more platforms, and particularly the way traditional Oromo culture is getting affected by conversions and modernity, the way you are bringing it out, that is very important.